Do 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 be do. Do 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 be do be do be do. Do do be do be do be do be do. Hello, Soup Bone. Do 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 do. I am just waiting. I was live earlier and I had a power outage and it cut my thoughts short, much shorter than I thought. Uh, so I'm just gonna wait until some more people get in, and then I will try to pick up where I left off. Hey, June. Hey, Albert. Yeah, cats, we are back. Hey, BGS. It's just gonna be a continuation, soup on, because I can't recapture what I was saying to just completely start over. So I'm just gonna leave that one up as part one, and then this one is just gonna be part two. I won't be neglected. And I won't be denied the pleasure of your kisses, the pleasure of your smile. I think you take for granted that I'll always be here just because I love you. It doesn't mean I won't disappear. I'm just waiting. Yes, I was. And I left off, Seth, where you were asking me a question. Be quiet, cats. You are always messing with me. If I can't play you the music, I sing you the music. That's crazy. Okay. So I got 20 people in here, and I'm assuming that other people will come. Oh, rooming it. I love Anita Baker because she's a contralto like I am. As my voice is rather deep when I'm singing. I mean, I got a pretty decent range. It's not, you know, like this most amazing range ever, but it's pretty decent, but I'm comfortable in contralto. Yeah, my lower registers are more comfortable for me. Um, okay, so I left off on depressed people. Okay, so for those who are catching this as part two, you might want to go back and look at part one before. Um, Cat Selma can't sing. It's a lot of people that's can't singos, and they think that they can. They think they're can singos, and that's probably the worst part. At least you know where you stand. So for those who are catching this as part two, please go back and look at part one. We are talking about relationship red flags and the people who are red flags. So we have covered so far going from least least impactful to most damaging. We covered the player and the whore, which is kind of almost two sides of the same coin. Then we went to the vampire, which is the energy and resource vampire. We covered the jaded person. Okay. And we are talking about the depressed, low self esteem, emotional issue person. And like I was saying before, I have had my long walk with major depressive disorder with suicidal tendencies that went undiagnosed because I never went to therapy. But it's obvious what that was because I was majorly depressed and I tried to commit suicide. Um, And what I was saying was a person who is suffering in depression may not have done anything to bring that depression on themselves. That was not their decision. No one decides to walk into depression. You just kind of find yourself in the midst of it. Sometimes you don't even know you're depressed until you start not being able to get up out of bed and, the lethargy and the lack of mental focus and the very, what's the word I'm looking for? When you're the cynical approach to life, to everything, you're a complete cynic. Um, so they don't they you just kind of find yourself in depression. What becomes a choice after a while is keeping the depression because it can become comfortable in a way, like your pain becomes comfortable. Can you guys still hear me? Type a 1 if you guys can hear me. I'm wondering if there's a lot of lag. Okay, awesome. Okay, great. For a moment there, because when the chat stalls, I kinda get worried. It's like, "Wait a minute, did I" now I'm sketchy. They were working okay, I'm sorry, just to go back to what happened, there was a power outage in my building. I think they were working on it outside or something, and the power was cut suddenly, and that's what happened to the first stream. Okay. So, you make a choice you have to make a choice to get out of the depression. Once you realize that's where you are, depression is a self-fulfilling prophecy because the things that you have to do to get out of the depression are exactly the things that you don't want to do. You don't want to interact with people. You don't want to go outside. You don't want to socialize. You don't want to do things like take walks and like you don't want to be in the world with nobody. You don't. And so this is not throwing stones at depression itself or depressed people, but we have to call a thing a thing. And depressed people are not in any emotional capacity to they don't have the emotional stamina to carry on a healthy relationship. While you are in depression, a romantic relationship is the last thing you need. Unless you were already married and then you got into the depression and then you kinda need your spousal support. But other than that, getting into a relationship, but you're already depressed and you're no. Where we left off was Zeph Diesel asked me a question on the previous live that, I answered, but nobody heard it because everything got cut. He asked me if I had ever been had I experienced a depression during my marriage. The answer is not really, not the depression. I am prone to it. I am, you know, I'm prone to getting depressed. I could be at some point sometimes, but I don't like to call that depression. I just get down sometimes. Depression is long lasting and it doesn't ever let up. Being down or being sad is momentary. Um, there were certainly peaks and valleys in our emotional state like any relationship, but I would not say that I got depressed in my relationship during my relationship. No, you know, we had some hard times, so but I'm used to hard time. I'm used to struggle, so it didn't bother me. Um, but our struggles were not with each other. Our struggles were with our circumstances. Um, so the depressed person is not a person to be in a relationship with, because you get into a cycle of um trying to help them out of the depression, but that person has to want to not be in it anymore, to the point where they will struggle out, because it is a struggle out. It's almost like you can't see a way out. It's like being in a dark room and you can't find the door. You can't find the door. And there's all these things in the room that you can stumble on and fall and hurt your toe and and you get tired of bumping into everything in the room. And so that's the hard part, to bump into everything in that room to get to the door. You know, it's an obstacle. It's like clutter. Depression is emotional clutter, emotional hoarding. Like you can't clear it. You can't clear it. Most people can't clear it on their own. So they develop all of these coping mechanisms that may or may not be healthy, to get through it, or to function in life with their depression. And so they live with it. Um so that is a red flag person. People with low self-esteem, if they feel that you are better than them or you're too good for them, they will run you off on purpose. Okay? So you can't help them by being in a romantic relationship with them. You have to just be, if you can be a support system for somebody that's depressed, that's okay. Just try not to enable their depression, which is difficult. It's difficult to know when you're helping and when you're enabling. But I'm not going to turn this into a lecture about depression. So we're actually gonna keep going, because we're getting now into the real meat of people that you should not be in a relationship with. And one of the most damaging people to be in a relationship with is the insecure slash trust issue person. This is the deeper level of the jaded person. This is the jaded person on steroids. Okay? The insecure, and you got trust issues. That is a deadly combination for any relationship. Okay. Greatness, narcissist is a good one. It's not on my list, but it could be. Could be. Hey, Sean. Um, the insecure trust issue person. These are tricky. Typically, they have qualities that make them good partners, but the insecurities and trust issues often rear their ugly heads. These people often project the past relationship failures onto you. Example, if their partner cheated on them in the last relationship, you must go out of your way to prove you are not cheating. This is often accompanied by invasions of privacy or asking accusatory questions repeatedly. They will overanalyze every move you make, every word you say. Everything about you will be in doubt, regardless of your guilt or innocence. These people also belong to a subgroup, which is the self saboteur. The level of insecurities and what they do uh, to satisfy them often lead to breaking a relationship that otherwise would have been fine. They can't leave well enough alone. And worst of all, they are unable to see that they are the ones ruining their own potential happiness. Okay. Hello, God is 1965. Welcome. Um, the insecure trust issue person is deadly. They are deadly. And like I said, they belong to a subgroup, the self saboteur. You ever met somebody that just sabotage their own self, can't get out of their own way? That's the insecure trust issue person. Everything you do is suspect to them. No matter what your qualities are, no matter how trustworthy you are, how honest you are, how open you are, they do not believe it. They, like I said, they're the jaded person on steroids. Things have happened to them. They have been wronged, whether those wrongs were perceived or real. Um, and since they have been wronged, every person that they come into contact with is guilty until proven innocent. And the trick to that is that you will never be proven innocent. You are never proven innocent. Okay? These are characterized by what, like I said, invasions of privacy going through your phone. That's a big one. Women are much more susceptible to that than men are. Okay? When a woman will go through your phone real quick, she'll go through all your stuff. That's a complete invasion of privacy. Because, see, the insecure trust issue person believes that they own you. And only through ownership of you can they control you. And if they can control you, then that means they can control everything you do and keep a beady eye and a tight lid on everything that you do. But what frustrates them is that there are indeed things out of their control. And when they realize that really the other person is an adult and can't be controlled no matter what they do, then that's a problem in and of itself. Well, I can't control you. I can't watch you. I can't spy. They'll go so far as to have other people spy on you. They'll do things like have somebody to come on to you to see if you're gonna cheat and, try to test you and all of that. And even though these are things that mostly women are known to do, men who are insecure do similar things. Okay? They will ask accusatory questions and repeated questions, trying to rephrase them to see if you're going to give a different answer. You know, to see what you're gonna do. They will accuse you of something to see what your responses are gonna be. If you have a nonchalant response, that's a problem. If you take umbrage to being accused, that's also a problem because it's like, well, if it's not true, why did you get so mad about it? But if you're nonchalant and kind of laugh it off, it's like, oh, so you're not taking me seriously with what I'm saying? So what is that? Everyone is suspect that you come in contact with. Any person of the opposite sex, if they're your friend or they're your coworker or what have you, they do not care. You are suspect of cheating on them with that person, or you're gonna cheat on them with that person, or you could cheat on them with that person, and they just can't take it And they become, due to these things, they become the self-saboteur. They will sabotage their own relationship. Because what happens is the other person eventually gets tired of having to defend their position and defend themselves and explain every little minutia of everything that they do and everyone that they talk to and everyone that they work with and everyone that might call them, or it becomes way too much work. It's too much work. It's like a second job, you know, having to defend normal things that everybody's doing. But all of a sudden, when I do it, in your eyes, it's suspicious. And usually they can't let it go. Whatever it is, they're like a dog with a bone. That once they get their teeth in it, they're gonna shake their heads and they're not gonna let it go. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, it doesn't matter what your track record is. It doesn't matter if you're known to be doing dirt or not. They just don't trust you at all. Okay. This is a person you cannot get in a relationship with. It will not be sustained. And if you're in love with them, it'll have you questioning yourself. Like, okay, am I doing suspicious stuff? Because they really on it. Why are they so on it? You know? And you'll be like trying to figure it out. And eventually, what you have to do is you have to realize that there is no amount of explaining or defending that's going to help. And then you have to just extricate yourself from the situation. And it may be hurtful. It may be hurtful. It is a form of gaslighting, cats. Insecure people gaslight the fuck out of you because they're trying to make you question yourself, and they're trying to make you be tripped up so that they can say, "Aha, I got you. I got you. I thought you said such and such the other day." Well, it was like that the other day, but it's not like that today. But why would it change? And it's a constant battle. It's like, okay, nothing that I say is good enough. So why am I doing this? Why am I dealing with you? I don't want to deal with this. And that's what ends up happening. The other person gets tired and is like, calls it quits. They just throw their hands in the air and like, I'm done. I cannot, you know what? I love you. And you have all these other qualities that I really like. But that right there, that insecurity, and you always accusing me of stuff, I can't deal with that anymore. You know? Because the reality is there is no relationship without trust. If a person is letting you know that they can't trust people and they don't trust you, but they want to be with you, that's a problem. And you should not engage with that person in any relationship because they don't trust you. And so if they don't trust you, they don't believe anything you say, then you have to have some level of trust. Even people that say don't trust nobody, you do trust people. You trust people. Everybody trusts people. Even if you say you don't trust anyone, you do. I'll give you an example. We all trust that we aren't going to hunt, kill, and eat each other because that is the human social contract. We do not hunt and kill and eat each other. That is cannibalism. And people who we uh, assume are human beings do not engage in cannibalism, right? So we trust that the next person I meet isn't gonna shoot me in the head, hog tie me, skin me, and eat me for dinner, right? So you trust people, and that was an extreme example. So you trust the social contracts until they prove that they are being broken. Okay. So you trust somebody because we have to. We have to have some general base level of trust in whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know. So you're trusting something from somebody at some point. you know. I drive Uber, right? People trust me to get them where they're going and know where the hell I'm going. They trust it. They trust that I'm not going to get lost. They trust that they're going to get there in a timely fashion. I'm not going to have any accidents and they're not going to die in my Uber car. They trust it. They don't know me from Adam, but they trust to get in my car that I'm not going to take them somewhere and strangle them. That they're actually going to get to work that morning, right? Greatness 81. The person that says they don't trust anyone doesn't trust themselves. I'm so glad you said that because that is an awesome statement. They don't think very much of themselves. They don't trust them. They know they're grimy and are prone to do grimy shit. So they just assume you're going to do it. And they hide behind, well, I just don't want to get got. No, you're just grimy. And you know that you're kind of a piece of shit. So you're scared somebody else is going to get to be a piece of shit before you do. Because it's okay if you're a piece of shit, but it's not okay if somebody else is a piece of shit. Right? So the insecure trust issue person is the deadly person to be in a relationship with because they gaslight you and they disrupt your peace completely. You will be nerve-wracked. You will be frazzled dealing with these people. Just completely frazzled. And it's not worth it. They're people who are insecure and who have major trust issues, the juice is not worth the squeeze. Whatever you're getting out of them is not worth it. I don't care what it is. Because they make it a hell. They make it hell to be with them. They make it hell. They make being with them something that you dread and something that you loathe. That's what they make. So, you know, you can't be in a relationship with them. And if you are in a relationship with them, get out. Get out of it. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care how long it takes. Please get out of that relationship. Because people's insecurities are their own. And one thing to know about it, people being insecure is such a turn off. It's such a turn off for men and women. When a woman is really insecure, it's like, ew. I thought I could be with you, but you're insecure. You constantly ask me these little weird ass questions that don't seem to have an angle or a particular direction that they're going. You do little shit to try to surmise things. You say something just to try to see what the reaction gonna be. And it's like, you give me trust issues because now I don't know where you're coming from. Like you come out of left field with some bullshit. And it's just like, okay, this is bullshit. What is that? What are you saying to me? And then they'll say their bullshit. And then you'll be like, well, what the hell? Well, and you're like at a loss because you don't know how to handle that shit because you don't even know where it came from. You're trying to think back. At least I do. Try to think back. Oh, what the fuck happened within the last like 6 hours and make this motherfucker say this shit? Now, what the fuck is wrong with you? And you trying to look what the fuck? It's always a what the fuck moment. You're always having a what the fuck moment with them because you just don't know why they're doing what they're doing. You just don't understand it. At least I don't. When things are just not logical, my brain just it doesn't compute it. I sit there at a loss for words, and I just look like, wow. I don't get it. I don't even know if I want to get it. You've been taking crazy pills all day because you had to be because this is what you came up with. Like and then the worst part about it is you're chilling, and then they just come up with the bullshit, and it's like, what we were just. How did you? You don't even know how they got there. You don't even know how they got there. It's like, what are you doing? CC Sanders, yes. Some people will purposely sabotage your relationship because they're insecure. They're insecure. I gotta get you before I get got. When the other person not even trying to get you. Not trying to get you. But you're scared. And a lot of times they're scared of success. They're scared of the success of the relationship because then what do you do with your insecurities? If someone is doing all the things that you say you want done in a relationship and everything is going good, then you don't have anything to complain about, do you? So, what do you do with your insecurities? You have to work to get rid of them. And that is the part that's too much work for them to actually do away with the insecurities. It's much more comforting, I guess, to them to believe that everyone's out to get them or everybody's dirty, everybody's shady. And it justifies the insecurities. Well, I can't trust nobody because people are always shady. Well, what about that person? They didn't do no wrong to y'all. You just don't know they was about to. They just faking. They wasn't really about that. It was just a matter of time for them to do some shit that I didn't like, or a matter of time for them to hurt me. That kind of shit. So you have to definitely stay away from the insecure person and a person with a lot of trust issues because you will never be peace. You will never be at peace with them. That relationship is doomed. I don't care how long the duration is. I don't care how you persevere through it. I don't care what is happening. That relationship is doomed to fail. Now, there is a last, but certainly not least person that you should avoid at all costs. Well, see, greatness 81, you ask what kind of people are attracted to people like this. Like I said, the insecure trust issue person is tricky. And the reason they're tricky is because they have other qualities that you do like. They have qualities that you like. Okay? That is how they rope people in because it's like if you just would stop it with this, you'd be okay. If you would stop with the bullshit, we'd be fine. And so the person keeps trying to work at it with them like, okay, if I could get you to stop, we could actually have a peaceful, healthy relationship. But the problem is they're not gonna stop. That's the problem. They're not gonna stop that. They'll be okay for a minute, but they're not gonna stop. Um, so so the last person on the list that you cannot get into a relationship with under any circumstance, they are to be avoided at all costs. But it's tricky because they hard to spot. Hey, Officer Faulkner, how are you? Can I get everybody to press 1 to hear the person that you must never engage in a relationship, no matter what they do? Y'all ready to hear it? And you know who this person is. The drum roll. The person that you must never engage in a relationship is the ratchet, male or female. And best believe there are male ratchets. They're definitely male ratchets. See, we usually say ratchet for females, but there are some male ratchets in this world. Good Lord. And they are just as bad as the women. Do not engage the ratchet at all. In the words of our esteemed brother Grinch God, ratchets are not people. They are not. The ratchet, both male and female, are to be avoided. They may embody any number or combination of the aforementioned traits, and they are dangerous. These people are dangerous because they are usually attractive. Also, they have potential to be awesome most times if they could just alter a few of these things. This is a trap. The few things that they need to alter will never be changed. Ratchet is a mindset. Okay? The most important part of this is that a ratchet may embody any of the previous traits I named. Okay? Also, ratchets live, thrive, and seek out chaos. The one way you could tell a ratchet is a person who always proclaims that they do not like drama and they do not like arguments. But drama and arguments are a part of their daily lives. They are lying. They love arguments, chaotic energy, negative energy, and drama. They will create it if there is none around them. They will seek it out. They will attempt to pull it out of you at all costs. Okay? I'm going to say that again. They live and they thrive like mold in the damp, dark spaces of the world. They thrive on negativity, arguing, drama, and all manner of chaos. Okay? They'll tell you they don't like arguing, but they'll be the first one to start an argument with you. Ratchets cannot be de escalated for any reason. Okay? If they call themselves getting mad, or the conversation is getting to where this could turn into an argument, and you attempt to divert that, you're trying to de-escalate. Maybe you simply stop talking about that subject, you try to change the subject, or maybe you try to reason with these people, or maybe you try whatever it is that you try to do to de-escalate the situation. It is never de-escalated. They find a way to escalate it anyway. They thrive on not only chaos for themselves, but they wish to visit chaos upon you because they cannot abide people who are peaceful and don't live in chaos. If they run into such people, they will attempt to play out that playbook. Whatever they're accustomed to, if they like arguing, they're going to try to pick an argument with you. Okay? And they'll play like they're mad about the argument and they just don't know why it's an argument. But if you stop arguing, they'll be mad. And they'll try to pick it back up. They'll skirt around the issue and then they'll go back to the issue that was supposedly what they were trying to avoid, the argument they were trying to avoid. They love chaos and negative energy. They don't know. A ratchet does not know how to deal with non-ratchet people. I'm going to repeat that. A ratchet, be it male or female, let's understand that this is both ratchet men and ratchet women operate the same way. Okay? A ratchet does not know how to interact with non-ratchet people. It confuses them, it frustrates them, especially if they can't draw that non-ratchet person into at least semi-ratchet behavior to go along with them. If they can't draw you into it, they're done with you. A ratchet will leave you alone if you refuse to be ratchet with them. These people are not worth anything that you think you can get out of them. Not sex, not money, not what you think is love. Ratchets, and let's speak on love. Ratchets have a very twisted viewpoint on what love is. As a matter of fact, ratchets, because it's a mindset, have a very twisted, dark view on everything. Everything can be twisted to the negative chaos energy that they like. Everything that happens, they can draw some negativity out of it. And you have some of the and there's different categories of ratchets. You have the ratchets who just embrace their ratchetry. Then you have the ratchets that swear to God they not ratchet. Okay? They swear on their life that they are not ratchet. And those types, and then you have the spiritual ratchet. Now, men can be spiritual ratchets too. And what I mean by a spiritual ratchet is a person who thinks that they're able to analyze situations deeply. And they think that they can really pin down what's going on with people. But you ratchet. So whatever you think is happening with people, probably the opposite is true because you have such a warped mentality and outlook on shit. There's no way you can come to any true conclusions because your premise is false. Your foundation is ratchet. That's like building a house on a fucked up foundation. It'll never be right. I don't care what kind of furniture you put in it. I don't care what kind of paint job you throw on it. I don't care what kind of amenities you put in that house. If you build that house on a fucked up foundation, it'll never be right. And that is what ratchets do. Ratchets have a fucked up foundation of their life and of their mentality. And so nothing is really right with them. And the reason why it's tricky is because most people can see the potential of ratchets. Like you can see, well, if you would just tweak like 3 things, you could be fucking awesome. And I would love to be with you. But they can't stop with the ratchet shit. They can't stop with picking and the fighting and the negative and the bullshit and it's always something. It's always there. And one other quality of a ratchet, they are never satisfied. Not the men or the women. Like I said, ratchet male and female act the same way. Okay? They act the same way because they have the same mentality. Okay? Ratchets are unsatisfiable. There is no amount of good treatment, no amount of love, no matter how genuine and sincere it is, no amount of respect, no amount of just being fair or being honest or being anything satisfies them. There's never enough money. There's never enough attention. There's never enough time. There's never enough sex. There's never enough. There's never enough ever. They just simply they don't want to be satisfied. They always got a problem. Always it's a problem. No matter what's going on, ratchets can't take peace. If things are going too smooth, oh, trust and believe a ratchet gonna start a fight. They are gonna start some shit. Let your household be peaceful for 2-3 weeks to see on it. If you dealing with a ratchet, they gonna start some shit. And they'll do it on a cycle. Some ratchets argue once a week. Some ratchets every couple days. Some ratchets every couple weeks. It's always gonna be some bullshit. You can almost start telling your time by it because they ratchet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's definitely the Terminator. They definitely the Terminator greatness 81. Can't reason with them. They don't feel pity, guilt, or fear, and they absolutely will not stop. Definitely. Poetic ratchets love fighting with people who aren't ratchet. And they project their ratchetry onto you. Whatever they do, you're doing it. And that's just the bottom line. They'll start any old type of shit. They don't care. The only people that ratchets can be with is other ratchets. Okay? Greatness 81 ratchets are demons. The females are succubi and the males are incubi. They are. Craig, how you gonna laugh at ratchetry? That's what it is. You know, they 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 all ratchets just need each other. Crazy part about a ratchet is they'll seek out better people only to fuck them over. You see? So ratchets must always be avoided at all costs. Ratchets usually are physically attractive and ratchets usually have good sex. The women have really good kitty and the dudes have really good dick. But that's part of the lure. Like our esteemed brother Cerulean Gray said, they're anglerfish. They're anglerfish. If you've ever seen an anglerfish, how many people in here have never seen an anglerfish? Because the visual is important. Oh, poetic says, oh yes, 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 yes. Ratchet females head game is off the charts. And ratchet dudes, they head game off the charts too. How you climbing a wall, but see that's the problem. That's part of the problem. Exactly. So the anglerfish is this really hideous fish. It's horrible looking, but it has this really beautiful lure that is a bioluminescent, and it hangs sort of away from them so that you can't see the fish itself until it's too late. So other fish that it preys upon are lured by the beautiful bioluminescence. And when they get close, the horror of the anglerfish is before them and then they get eaten. That is the embodiment of a ratchet. Beautiful bioluminescence. Beautiful lure. There's just something about them that you like. That's why they're so dangerous. Something about them that you like. Even before you get to the sex. That's what gets you to the sex. Because you like this other stuff that you see. It's like, oh, because the most more clever of them can mask it for about 2 seconds. Okay? And then they start throwing up these red flags like, wait a minute. Oh, wait. That doesn't quite add up. What is that? Because they can't hide it. When you ratchet, you can't hide it. You must be ratchet. It like tears away at their flesh and bones. They must be ratchet. There's no other way around. There's no other way around. Must be I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But that's how you get to the sex part because it's something about them that you like, right? And then you get to the sex part and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, "Oh my god. Why is this dude's dick like this? Why? This doesn't even make any sense." And then the problems. Then the problems. Because once they feel like they got you hooked on the sex, see, ratchets have a low vibrational thinking. So they feel like once you're hooked on the sex, there's no way you will leave them no matter what they do because you'll always be chasing the dragon. It's like that first time you hit some heroin, it'll never be the same again. It'll never be the same. You can as many hits as you take, you'll get high, but you'll never get nothing like that first high. And that's just what I heard allegedly. I have never done drugs, but I've been around drug addicts. Okay. And so the ratchet has low vibrational thinking. They don't think any higher. Okay. They stay in low vibration. So they feel like once they throw the pussy or they throw the dick on you, you'll never leave. And they'll be able to do any form of their ratchetry on you or to you, and you will be a slave to how they make you feel in the bedroom. Or that it's abusive actually. It's emotionally abusive. Ratchets narcissism fits under ratchetry. It's emotionally abusive because what they do is they feel like, well, as long as I got you trapped like a captive audience, I do with you what I want. And you don't have any say in this. I'll do what I want and you just take it. You just take it. That's all you have to do. You just take it and the abusive part, just like a person who involved themselves in physical abuse. If you're in a domestically abusive, there's a cycle, there's the abuse and then there's the honeymoon where you abuse the person and then later on you show them the other side of you that they fell in love with, and you give them flowers and you apologize and you show them that person that they love, the person that they want, and that gets them tricked back into getting back comfortable with you, and then you flip the switch again. Ratchets do the same shit, but they're more prone to do it emotionally to you. So they will do some fuck shit to fuck you up, right? Have your mind fucked up, they have your energy fucked up, they destroy your peace. Then once if they feel like you're on the verge of pulling away from them because of it, what they'll do is they'll show you the other side, the person that you like. Okay? The person that you met first. They'll show you that person and get you back roped in like, okay, well maybe that was just a one off. Or maybe that was just, that particular situation. And then once they feel like they got you comfortably back into, into the electric chair, they flip the switch on you again and zap you. See what I'm saying? That's exactly what they do. And it is an entrapment because you are lured by that other person that you like because you figure it, I know that person is in there and I want to get it out. How? and you start internalizing it like it's your fault, like a warped sort of Stockholm syndrome. It's almost like a Stockholm syndrome that you get into because you are being abused. You're being emotionally abused. And I believe it was BJ who said it earlier in the chat, only the strong can break away from that, can walk away from that. Only the strong can see the red flag and walk off before they get too deep in the quicksand where they can't get out. And it takes you sticking to your guns. Like, I'm not gonna deal with you. I am not dealing with you. I'm not anymore. Like, no, I don't want to hear sorry. I don't want you to come smiling at me. I don't want you to come being cool and all of that, or whatever it is, personality trait that I like about you. I don't want you come showing me that. You can keep that. That is the true definition of the juice not being worth the squeeze. Whatever good I get out of you is certainly not all worth all this bullshit that I got to wade through to get this little bit of good. Surely there's somebody else in this world with that amount of good or more, and I don't have to walk through motherfucking hell with gasoline draws on just to get to it. Cause you can't tell me it's not another woman in the world with better pussy than you, or another man in the world with just as good or better dick than you. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me. It's somebody out here that I can find that is not gonna take me through this bullshit. Cause you are taking me through a world of bullshit, and I cannot do this anymore with you. And it take a while to detox from them people. You got to detox yourself from them people. You got to like completely disengage, not dip back. You cannot dip back. No, 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 no dipping. No dipping. There's no dipping. You must completely leave the area. Because if you dip, you get sucked back in. Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Like Michael Corleone said, no, you must completely leave the area. All right. Then and only then are you able to remove that person from your system like drawing poison out of a wound. Okay? It's literally like drawing poison out of a wound. You know, we have to Poetic Kale says, I agree. We do have to take accountability for picking such poison, but some people put on such a good representative. I would tweak that to say we have to take accountability for staying with the poison, not picking it. Because you can get fooled into picking anybody. But once you see these flags pop up, then it becomes you're accountable for going forward anyway. So if you get hurt, it was kind of on you too. That's what we become accountable for going down the road anyway, thinking that we'll be able to mitigate our own damage. Well, if I only get sex from this person and not invest my feelings, then I won't be hurt. But that is a trap as well. You know, you're dealing with somebody that you don't need to deal with when when your relationships start out as struggle love. No relationship that's healthy starts as struggle love. What do I mean by struggle love? I gotta fight to be with you. It's so hard, but I'm just fighting through everything to get with you. No. If that shit is too hard, it's not, you need to stop. One thing that I learned in life is if simple shit become really, really hard to do, you need to stop going down that road. That's not for you. It's not for you. If simple shit become, like climbing Mount Everest barehanded, no. All I'm trying to do is be with you in a normal relationship, but it's all these obstacles and bullshit, and it's tough, and it's trouble, but we can make it through. How the fuck we trying to make it through some shit? And I've been knowing you all of a month. Fuck out of here. I ain't trying to struggle through a goddamn thing after 30 days. Fuck that stupid shit. This shit is already motherfucking hard. Hey, Road Dog. This shit hard out the gate. How the fuck is hard out the gate though? And then it be some bullshit. And it be like, you be like, well, maybe if I just, maybe it's just, this little situation and we can get past it. No, 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 no. Don't be trying to get past no shit that ain't got no commitments to it. You know. I think probably the worst part to me is the argument out of nowhere. And for me, the argument out of nowhere is particularly disturbing because arguments are a trigger for me. Arguing, going back and forth, getting riled up, that's a bad trigger for me. I literally have physical reactions to that. I start crying, I will start shaking, I will throw up. I do not like arguments. I don't like getting that adrenaline up and I'm not fighting, I'm talking, you know? And then my adrenaline is up like I'm fighting. I don't like that. And it is also, not only is it a trigger to me, it approaches one of my non-negotiable boundaries. And it's not that I've never argued, but the argument from bullshit that's from nowhere, that's what I can't take. I can't take that. We're gonna have, if you're in a relationship, I view my marriage as a very healthy relationship. We had our disagreements. We even had our kind of knockdown dragouts. But the thing that helped those were a couple of things. They were not arguments from nowhere. They were based on some legitimate issues that one or both of us were having. Two, the arguments were resolution driven. We were trying to figure out how to fix it. Okay. We were trying to figure out how to fix it. And the other thing that helped the arguments is we didn't take low blows at each other. So we did not disrespect one another while we were doing it. And last but not least, After it was over, we apologized to each other if we had gone out of the pale of anything. At no point did I feel like my husband didn't have respect for me. And at no point did he feel I just didn't have respect for him. We understood that we respected each other. We just had a little argument right then. The other type of argument I don't like is that shit that go on for more than just a little while. I don't like that all day shit. And then the next day you mad still. And then the day after that you got a whole attitude. Like you get the fuck out of here with that shit. I don't want to fucking do this shit. Grinch God, my nigga. I have quoted you several times, and so has Char Willie. Ratchets are not people. They're not. And the ratchet is the most dangerous person to be in a relationship with. Oh, I forgot one other aspect of the relationship with the ratchet. It is completely self serving. Endangered Theses asked me, am I emotionally able to date a new dude or is it too soon? I'm emotionally capable of dating. I'm emotionally capable of dating. Are you asking me out? But yeah, um, but that's one of the things that their relationship, Ratchet's relationships are completely self-serving. Only thing that matters to them is what affects them. That's the only thing that matters to them. What you need out of relationship, what you want out of relationship, what hurts you, what bothers you, what helps you is of no concern to them. Of no concern at all. Not at all. Completely one-sided. If they're not getting what they want out of it, it's a piece of shit relationship they don't want. You're always a piece of shit to them. They thrive on shaming language and guilt trips. It's a whole big thing. Ratchetry is an umbrella of that covers a whole subsection of fuckery. Hey, Beyond. I hope I'm saying your name right. But yeah, Ronan going in on this chat so he can choke on a shit covered cactus branch. I'm so done. I am so done. Wow, Cass. Cass says the most uncomfortable thing I witnessed was when I was checking out a couple and the girl wanted to fist fight her boyfriend for buying the wrong type of ice tray. I mean, just ratchetry, run amok. Run amok. But that was the end of my list. So we got some choices. If you want me to open the panel so we can sort of talk, we can do that. If not, I can go ahead and sort of wrap this up because I'm at the end of my list for our red. I don't have a bonus one. Zeph Diesel, I'm sorry. I don't. I'm sorry. So, does anyone want to open the panel at all, or do you want me to wrap it up? 1, if you want me to open the panel, 2, if you want me to wrap it up. Because if anyone has anything to add, you can. If not, we'll sign off. All right, so I think we got a little vote. Everybody kind of wants to sign off. Okay, so I got 1 who wants to open the panel. 2 if you want me to sign off. Who told you I needed some rest, BGS? I do kind of need my rest. But I don't want to rest. No rest for the weary. Ronan says to get my rest. Okay. Everybody talking about get my rest. Do I sound sleepy? Or I said I be grinding. I'm gonna grind down on this Red Dead in a little bit. So Grinch God, you gonna be ready later on, dude, for this Red Dead. I was gonna try to grind it out myself, but my power it went out earlier and then I'm not high. I don't get high. I don't get high. Ronan is going in. That's too funny. Too funny. Thanks for everyone who donated and contributed. I'm highly, highly appreciative. Highly appreciative. Well, at least you honest. Craig Hopper says if all else fails, you can just buy cupcakes. Somebody put his link to his website. Our esteemed brother Craig Harper runs Tipsy Tulips. I have never had them because he makes his pastries with alcohol and I don't drink. But that's the only reason I haven't gotten them, but I'm tempted to anyways because it's just a little bit in a cupcake, right? But please, please, please go and check out his website, order some stuff. I heard it was awesome. Please. I do smell good. I try. I try. Endangered Theses says I sound like one of those women that smell good. I try. I wear nice oils. I soak in the tub with some bubble bath. I try. Will you make me a Craig, will you make me a special batch? You know what? I can't even really ask for a special batch because I don't even eat sugar anymore. But I totally want one of your cupcake stuff. That's so bad. I'm gonna cheat and get one of your cupcakes. Ronan, I am done. How you gonna say thoughts are often musty? They have underwear that curl up like bacon on the floor. Oh my And then don't let it have like little nasty little ew, like little nasty little spots or something. Or colors in there. Ugh, that's so nasty. Don't get me started on female hygiene. Cause there should never be any occasion where said the middle of their panties look like burnt oven mitts. Okay, on that I am gonna end this stream because you cannot keep going in on in this chat. Ah, oh my god. Wolf in Beta Clothes asks me what's my diet. I am on the ketogenic diet. So that is an extremely low carb diet. I eat about 20 carbs, 20 grams of carbs a day or less, which is extremely small. So that means there's no pasta, no rice, no bread, no flour, and there is little to no sugar in my diet. For sweetener, I use erythritol and stevia. I no longer drink juice. I don't even really eat fruit unless it is like strawberries or blueberries or something like that. My flour is now almond or coconut flour, which is interesting to work with because it does not behave like wheat flour at all. But I have gotten accustomed to baking with it because I love baking. Breads are interesting. You do have to put like xanthan gum in it just to kind of give it that a little bit of that elasticity, like regular bread. But it's not, no bread is like regular bread, no matter what you do to it. And I have a few recipes. I like to go on YouTube. I like to look at it's one particular YouTube channel that kind of my go-to for keto, and that's Headbangers Kitchen. And he has a lot of good keto recipes. So you can like make pancakes and stuff like that. I do miss certain stuff that because our whole American, and I'm not gonna make this like about diets, but I like talking about it because our American diet is full of carbohydrates and sugar, which your body metabolizes the same way. A carb is just a complex sugar. And anytime we consume it, a carb or just a straight sugar, our bodies turn it into glucose. Okay. But we eat so much of it that this is kind of what leads to diabetes because your body becomes insulin resistant, and your pancreas is making so much insulin in order to break it down into glucose that it stops making the insulin. Hence, you get diabetes type 2. The ketogenic diet is designed to minimize how many insulin spikes your body does a day. So end up, I end up eating one meal a day because I'm skipping around a little bit, but the ketogenic diet basically switches your metabolism. Your body will always burn sugar first. Okay. Anytime you eat a carb or sugar based item, your body is going to try to burn that energy source first because it's like hitting the nitrous. Okay. It's a boost energy, which is why you have sugar crashes. So if you want extra energy really fast, you'll drink like a Red Bull, or you'll eat some candy, or you'll eat something that's high in carbs, high in sugar, right? And you'll have that boost of energy for a while and then you crash, right? Because that energy store is getting used. The ketogenic diet basically switches your body from burning sugar all the time to burning fat all the time as its fuel. And if you have extra fat, i.e., weight to lose, such as myself, your body will burn its own fat stores first. If I eat too many carbs, my body will my metabolism will switch over really fast, take me out of ketosis, and it'll burn that carb. It'll burn the carbs. And if I minimize the carbs right after that, my body will switch back into burning fat again. I will drink coffee. If I drink coffee, I sweeten it with a little bit of erythritol. And my cream is heavy whipping cream because it doesn't have anything. Uh, so I usually will end up with I usually will end up doing intermittent fasting. So I'll do one meal a day and I will usually go no less than 16 hours and then I'll eat again or something of that nature. I've lost a ton of weight like that. A ton. Yeah, beyond eating less carbs makes your body stop burning them because we're the reason why we're fat. See, when we eat a piece of cake, we think it's the butter and why would a piece of cake be fattening? Think about it. What is a piece of cake? Flour, sugar, possibly butter, okay, and a flavoring of some sort. Flour we don't think of as fattening. Sugar we might think of as fattening. Butter we definitely think of as fattening. But butter is not fattening, butter is a fat. Eating fat doesn't make you fat. Eating carbs makes you fat because we're consuming so much of it and our bodies are not burning it, which is why our bodies just store it and it stores it as fat. And so in order to lose it, we have to cut how many carbs you're eating every day and then burn it off. You have to actually burn off the carb stores. And then once you burn off the carb stores, you have to burn some more to actually burn the fat. So I don't think of this as dieting, although technically the way you eat is your diet. This is just a lifestyle change. I'm gonna eat like this potentially. I have no intention of not eating this way. I cheated. What was it? When I went to go see Creed last month. Um, because everything at the movie theaters is a carb. Everything is a carb, right? And I had a soda, a little bit. I shared a soda with my sister, and I shared like it had like a little bitty pizza, and it made me sick. I could not drink that soda. It was just too. It was too sweet, and it started. It started. I got sick. I got a headache. My body just did not adjust to um to that. And also, wolf and beta clothes, sugar says sugar slows recovery. And also, things like cancer and cancer cells eat sugar to live. How much sugar do we eat? We eat so much sugar, but cancer cells live on it. I have been doing ketogenic diet for probably about, I want to say 5 months or something like that, and I've gone down probably 5 sizes. So I probably go down a size a month. I don't know that that's a myth endangered because my body is actually doing it. It does burn my fat. I don't exercise as much as you would think because I don't need to. Beyond if you're borderline on uh diabetes or you have pre-diabetes or something like that, definitely lower your carb and nearly cut your sugar intake. Just cut it. On the ketogenic diet, no sugar is allowed, including honey, Ebony Knight. Not even sugar found in fruit. Your body doesn't know the difference between bad sugar and natural sugar. It's just going to process it and create insulin and try to break it into glucose. It doesn't know any difference. If you overeat, your body stores the food as fat, but the fat is not later used for energy. That's because of the diet that we have. We consistently consuming the carb and then not burning it. And so therefore if you don't burn the carbohydrate store, the sugar store, then your body will keep storing it as fat over and it'll just keep doing it. So you have to cut out the source of it. Now, people can usually lose weight without the ketogenic diet, but if you notice, most people who lose weight do cut their carbs. They may not cut it down to 20 grams a day, but they'll cut them. No problem. No problem, beyond it. Most people don't realize how many carbs we eat. Everything. Everything's coated and battered and breaded and everything. Everything we eat. But if we notice our American diet is unhealthy. So many of us are unhealthy. Why? Why are we so fat? Why do we have high blood pressure and diabetes and kidney failure? Why? And cancer. Why do we have that? We have an epidemic of it. Everybody's not overeating and being lazy. It's the diet itself. Our body is just not it's not designed to do that. Grains and breads, those are fillers that you eat them in famine, right? Because it spreads and you can eat a lot of it. I don't have water weight gain anymore. When I cut sugar, my joints stop hurting. My knees used to hurt. My ankles used to swell. No sugar, no carbs, no pasta and stuff like that means that I don't store water anywhere anymore like I did before. Because if you think about pastas and rices, they soak up water, right? And when you eat it, it doesn't stop doing that. It doesn't stop soaking up or and holding water. Now that I eat the way that I do, I'm on the verge almost of dehydration all the time. You'll not believe how much water I drink. You'll not believe how much water I drink. You see? But my ankles and feet no longer swell. My knees don't hurt, my back doesn't hurt, my shoulders and my joints don't hurt anymore. My skin is cleared up. Not to mention the weight that I've lost. I should be probably at my goal weight in probably another 2 to 3 months. Like, it's becoming a Coke bottle at this point. I just gotta, like, finish. The difference is astonishing to the point where my mother didn't she because I don't see her very often. And then she saw me, and then she saw me like a few months later. She was like, you know what? I didn't know that was you in the picture, and you're my daughter. You see? So, the way that I eat, intermittent fasting, 1 meal a day for probably 4 days out of the week, and 3 days out of that week, I do hits. So weight training, squats, that sort of thing to tone because I'm losing weight so fast. I don't want my skin to sag. So I'm making sure that my muscles are toned. And the shape and the toning of your muscles give your body shape. So I'm trying to get a booty. Like y'all, I am trying to get a booty. The legs were always awesome. But I am trying to get a booty, y'all. That is so funny to me. That's so funny to me. Yeah. So I'm constantly in a state of having to drink water and try to replace my electrolytes because I lose them. That's the only kind of downside I think to it. But I'm hardly ever hungry because my body doesn't tell me that it's hungry anymore because I'm not consuming as many carbs. So it's not hungry for carbs. And because it's burning fat and I actually have extra fat for it to burn, I'm hardly ever hungry. So I have to remember to eat. But then I'm also not out of energy. So I have to actually remember, oh, I didn't eat anything today. Let me go in there and get something to eat. I'm trying to get an ass crack. It's not flat, but I ain't got like no, no donk, you know. It's just not like splack out. But it's not flat. I don't want to give that impression like I got a pancake ass because I don't. It's big when it matter. Don't get me started. It's big when it count. Okay, so I got on off into a diet and I did not miss your question, Craig. I did see them bears. I did see the monsters of the midway, my nigga. I did. Now Trubisky he embodied Jay Cutler with all them goddamn picks. But that defense though, nigga. That defense though. What you talking about? What is you talking about? We finally got a quarterback. Even though he had a bad day, I like Trubisky. He the best quarterback we've had in recent years in quite a while. Um and but that defense, man, that defense has so many takeaways. If the defense hadn't done that, man, we would have lost that game. We would have lost that game. But Trubisky did come through with that one touchdown because we need that one touchdown actually put it out of reach. He said, your wife want to get a booty. All she got to do to get a booty, this is how I'm getting a booty. I have a resistance band. Thank you, Char. And I do jump squats, donkey kicks, anything that work the lower body. Okay. I don't know what you call the exercises. I do like a squat where you kind of walk from side to side or whatever. Like, I don't know what that is called, but I do that. So that is how I'm getting it rounds it out. It like really rounds out the bottom and everything. And it's like, oh, because the ass is a muscle, right? It's just a big muscle. Some of us are blessed with big asses off the gate, and some of us have to work for them. And I'm one of them that has to work for my ass because I have tata, but not, you know. So that's my plight. Tatas, yes. Ass, not so much. It's just okay. But see, I want the type of ass to be like, she got a little fatty under there, don't she? That's what I want. I don't need no super huge booty because that just wouldn't go with my body type. But a nice little bubble, just a little onion, just something make you cry when you look at it. That's all. 9'10" is not big at all. Because actually I was my smallest at a 9'10" at 18 when I was in college. And I was small for 9'10". My kinda my perfect thing is like a size 12 because that's slim thick for me. My natural body type is slim thick. I'm not super thick where I just got big everything. It's kinda like Coke bodily with thick where it should be. And that's what I'm trying to get back because I was slim thick when I got married. Hubby couldn't get enough of it. Like, God damn it. Under all them clothes. That's what's under there, huh? Belly fat is stubborn, beyond. Mine is stubborn, but working on hits will do her. If she can do some hits, that'll get that belly fat. It's a little bit more stubborn because sometimes belly fat is not just regular fat, it's stress. I had a lot of stress, so I had a lot of cortisol in my system. And belly fat is usually, especially for women, is a result of that stress hormone because your adrenal gland will produce the cortisol and that actually goes right to your midsection. It goes really only to your midsection. And you have to actually de-stress to stop your body from producing as much cortisol. And then once you work out, your belly fat will go away, but it's stubborn. You not an ass man, Soul Shader. What is you, a tit man or a leg man? What are you, Soul Shader? She can walk then. I know she probably like, oh, I'm tired of standing up, but that's actually she needs to do something because the fat will burn, but it'll burn slowly. She has to do something that's gonna help her with her midsection. And danger thesis, I like legs and breasts. Oh well then, me how you doing? How you doing? She just started walking. You know, you gotta start somewhere. I went right into hits or Tabata. Just that the exercise doesn't take any more than 15 to 20 minutes. I don't do any more than that, and it's high intensity. If you just wanna be more tone, cast lift weights. Yoga is good too. I should do some stretches to get more flexible. Me and yoga have never gotten along, but I'm not opposed to it. I just like that. I just like doing the hits. I like getting in weights and lifting and huh, huh. I like all that. You know. Char is helping me. She got me a kettlebell, and I thought that was awesome. So this turned into a whole thing about diets and weight loss, which I don't mind talking about. You know, cats, Pilates did not help me at all. Pilates gave me back issues. I don't like Pilates. I did Pilates for 9 months and didn't lose no inches. I was too mad. But but yeah, the hits works out for me. The keto works for me. You know, just find what works for you. Hey, melanated night. Just find what works for you, and then let it be what it is. You just gotta dedicate. Nothing happens without the work. So my work and dedication, the majority of it, and I'm finding this to be true. Weight loss is like 80% what you eating, 20% exercise. What you eating, abs is made in the kitchen. If you eating crazy, you'll never lose that weight. Not to the point that you want, or it'll be very slow. And you'll have to put in so much work exercising. But your body can only do so much. Especially if you're overweight, you can't kill yourself in the gym because your body is already overtaxed. If you're overweight, your joints are not doing very well because it's too much weight on them. So you can't run all crazy and you know what I'm saying, like lift weights all crazy and get on all the machines. Like you can't do that because your body is out of shape. So you have to start eating right first to help your body naturally burn off that fat, to naturally do it on its own, which is what I found ketogenic diet does. It just makes your body burn its own fat. And then I hit the weights and you know what I'm saying? Hit the squats, hit the, you know what I'm saying? Like I got a pull-up bar, you curl up, you I be hitting my midsection. I hit my core hard because I want it gone. I need the hourglass. The waist is getting pretty small. The waist is getting small. Yeah. So yeah, Warrior Prince, that keto is something else. You cut them carbs out and start cutting them sugars down, and your body changes. It definitely changes. You get what's called keto flu, um, which is your body kind of adjusting to a metabolism switch. You kind of get a headache and you kind of don't feel very well, and then after that, you feel no pain. Your body will stop craving all those carbs. It will stop. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this on off. And I will talk to y'all later. I enjoyed myself. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I'm gonna try not to um skimp out on you guys on the weekend. So I'm gonna try to have a live stream on the weekend too. Do I do cardio? Yeah, I do jump rope. I just jump rope. When I want to do cardio, is jump rope. I bought a nice little jump rope for that reason. Yeah, Val. That's what I was talking about, Val. As reduced sugar intake. I've reduced it almost to zero. My sugar intake is negligible at this point. So I can't go get like, can I drive for a living? You know how hard that is to not stop at Dunkin' Donuts or any other place for that matter? I don't know how to roller skate, and trust me, I have tried. I have tried and I have failed so many times, and I love roller skating, but I can't do it. And at this point, I'm too old to be getting somewhere falling on some damn skates. It ain't gonna happen. All right. So I am going to go ahead and end this stream. I had so much fun, but I will talk to you guys later. Drop a video about women controlling everything. And y'all will see what that's about when I do that. All right, and I love you guys. Thank you so much. And I'm signing off.